Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down a boxing match for y'all. This Sunday, March 8th, we have Zuffa Boxing 4, which will be headlined by the first title fight in the Zuffa boxing history. Granted, it's only 4 events, so there's going to be more title fights, for all for all details and or just background on the event, this will be our first title fight for the Zuffa boxing promotion. And so this is for their Zuffa boxing cruiserweight title between the current IBF and Ring Magazine cruiserweight champion Jai Opetaia taking on Brandon Glanton. Now, before I get into this, I don't fully know what's going to happen if Jai Opetaia wins this fight. Not saying I'm picking him right away, but I don't know what would happen to his IBF title if he wins. I'm pretty sure he still keeps his Ring magazine, but I do know the IBF is not exactly pleased if he would win this title. Like, they'll strip him of the belt. So I will say this right now. I do feel bad for Opetaia because, I think that's kind of BS. I'm trying to make sure I pass the minute mark so I can actually curse. Obviously, I don't do it much, but still. That, he is still the IBF champion, and I just assume if they strip him, I don't think any other cruiserweight who gets that belt was the real champion. You know what I mean? But still, this is going to be a fun matchup. Jai Opetaia is for sure one of the best cruiserweights alive right now, and he is probably the most technically skilled right now at the 200-pound champion, because that is what cruiserweight is. And stylistically speaking, both of these fighters fight differently. For Opetaia, he's like I said, very technically skilled southpaw cruiserweight. For Brandon Glanton, he's more of a pressure fighter, someone who relies on aggression, physicality, and work rate to overwhelm opponents. So I think this fight really comes down to whether technical skill and ring control can neutralize pressure and power. But with that said, let's get down to the breakdown. Starting with Jai Opetaia. He is a southpaw technician, and being a southpaw in boxing, naturally, it's going to have a lot of advantages, specifically in boxing, because the angles of attacks are different. The lead hand mirrors their opponent, which opens more opportunities for the straight left and lead right hook to land. But obviously, Opetaia doesn't rely just on being a southpaw. He's a very polished one. His game is built around a few key tools. His footwork and ring control are extremely well for cruiserweight. Opetaia. He's very good at stepping in and out of range quickly, which allows him to lead clean shots without staying in the pocket too long. This is especially important against pressure fighters. And if a fighter can't trap Opetaia along the rings and or the post, it becomes very difficult to consistently land on him. Another thing is his jab. It is easily one of the most important parts of Opetaia's style. Even as a southpaw, he uses it consistently to measure distance and disrupt the opponent's rhythm. And against someone like Glanton, the jab becomes crucial because it prevents pressure fighters from closing distance comfortably. Excuse me. Then, finally, his combination punching. Opetaia is very good at not just throwing single shots, but putting combinations very good together. Specifically, he really likes doing the straight left hand, followed by hooks and or body shots. And that layered offense is something pressure fighters often struggle with because they have to walk through multiple punches just to get inside. Now, looking at Brandon Glanton. Glanton is almost the exact opposite stylistically. Like I said, he's more of a pressure-oriented fighter. So where Opetaia is going to rely more on movement and precision, Glanton relies on aggression and volume. And his style revolves around closing distance and forcing opponents into very uncomfortable positions, more like the phone booth, if you will. Glanton's, biggest weapon is his ability to push a pace. He's consistently moving forward. He tries to cut off the ring, forcing opponents towards the ropes where exchanges become more chaotic. Against technical boxers, this approach can sometimes disrupt their rhythm. Plus, Glanton is most dangerous when the fight becomes close range, like say in the phone booth. He throws heavy hooks and uppercuts, and he's comfortable trading shots in the pocket. Against someone who prefers space, like Opetaia, the pressure can create openings for him. And then finally, his durability and grip. Definitely his toughness is a defining trait in Glanton's style. He's willing to take a shot to land one. And this makes him dangerous because even when he's losing rounds, he's willing to create moments where he can hurt his opponents. Now, one of the biggest factors in this fight is the southpaw factor. As For an orthodox fighter like Glanton, fighting a southpaw can be tricky. The angles are going to be different for him, the left straight is going to become a major weapon, and the lead foot position battle becomes extremely important. If Opetaia can keep his lead foot outside Glanton's, it opens a lane for that left straight to land clean. And if the punch lands consistently, then the fight's basically Opetaia's. Then you look at the range versus pressure of this fight. Excuse me. The fight essentially becomes a battle of distance. Opetaia controls range. The fight favors him greatly. He can jab, move, and pick Glanton apart with clean shots. But if Glanton can consistently close distance and turn this into a phone booth fight, the dynamic changes because inside exchanges, they reduce the advantages of footwork and increase the importance of power and toughness. However, closing a distance against a mobile southpaw, that's easier said than done. Now, you look at also the cardio and fight pace. Both fighters have strong work rates, but the type of work matters. The type of work rate matters. Opetaia tends to fight at a controlled pace, choosing when to attack. Glanton fights at a more consistent pressure pace, trying to overwhelm opponents with forward movement. And over a long fight, 12 rounds, pressure can sometimes slow down if the fighter keeps eating clean counters. And that's where Opetaia's efficiency could become important. Landing cleaner punches while taking fewer shots often wins rounds in boxing. So, for my final assessment, while I think there are paths to success for Brandon Glanton, if he closes distance consistently and just turns it to a gritty, tough fight, this could be his fight. But stylistically, this matchup heavily favors the technician. I'm going to pick Jai Opetaia in this fight. I just think his movement, his southpaw stance, and angles just make it extremely difficult for someone of Glanton's abilities, more specifically his pressure-oriented style, to land consistently. So, once again, I'm going to pick Jai Opetaia, and I'm going to pick him via knockout in this one. But with that being said, that's been my breakdown of this fight. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on who you think is going to win. But until then, I have been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. And remember, stay calm, stay respectful, and enjoy the violence. I'll see y'all next time.